Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 27 or Episode 86 overall. So we're continuing on with this conflict here at the harbour. Flock is still out and about, causing trouble. Reiner and Annie have transformed and are just wreaking havoc. We had this great moment with Connie and Arming facing off against some of their former friends who are now Jaegerists. Connie has just been through the ringer these last few episodes and had some great development, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So before we jump into it, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find full-length Toma-based reactions, 1 week early access to shows that aren't currently airing, and polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Armin still even tried to save him, wow. I was thinking Armin just needs to give him a hug, but no, there's no time for that, is there? Just straight back into the action. Yeah, Reiner and Annie, they make for a great distraction from the others, don't they? But look, all of these people have thunder spears, which is like Reiner's biggest weakness. We've seen how easily they can take him down. An entire day. Think of all of the chaos an entire day would cause, you know? Yeah, they need to wipe out everyone here, essentially. The barrier's basically done for at this point. And Jean did have good memories of the people there because he was undercover for so long, I guess. It'll still take a while though, won't it? Oh yeah. Big gamble if they'll get there in time. McGaff putting his leadership to good use. And is he wearing a scout uniform there, it looked like? But a survey corps uniform, wasn't it? Retrospective, okay. No. Mikasa's there helping them out as well. Ooh, that was right in his nape. But they need to get like one in to destroy the armor around the nape and then one more after, right? Yeah, Reiner and Annie are taking a real beating for them, aren't they? And she's lost an arm. That was a great shot of the foot coming over. Oh, Reiner's a bit more sturdy, so he can handle them a bit better, right? Solo, we're going to be destroying the ship. Again, the Sasageo. They're all just waiting there, waiting for their opportunity. Peak isn't really one for fighting, is she? Especially if she doesn't have any of her gear. Oh, are we getting Falco? His first transformation as well, though. The jaw is quite maneuverable, so it'll be good for taking out all of these flying people, you know? I want to see this new form, you know? Oh, there's reinforcements as well. Okay, great. Can they knock the train down and just wipe them all out in one go, you know? Okay, just like that. Who was that though? Ooh. Falco's not used to this pain as well, is he? Ooh. And he's not dead though, it doesn't look like a nape attack, but yeah, they're really beat up at this point, aren't they? Oh, it's Connie! Ooh, this Sakuga, this animation, Mappa! It's just like that one Levi fight, you know? Season 3, episode 1. Yeah, you can't even touch Mikasa. She's just got swords and they've got guns. Yeah, they can't stop to hesitate. Oh, Peak is actually joining in the fight as well now. It's all pretty dire. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's got like, it looked kind of like galleons with the mane and the kind of bone face. Oh, yeah, he's got claws. He looks like a bird. Yeah, wow. It's a Falcon. He looks really like a bird, doesn't he? You could confuse him for a Beast Titan, couldn't you? But obviously he's the jaw. Are we getting a Falco versus Flock? Oh, wow. Mappa again. All of this Sakuga this episode. Oh, the boat. Oh, someone shot him. But he still fired it off. Look at that, it looks like blood, the water. That's how much death there's been. Was it Gabby? Gabby took Falco out. I mean, Gabby took Flock out. But he just fell in the water. It wasn't like a kill shot. He might still be okay. Oh, just took his head right off. Like the blood effect. She just leaves him there to explode. Is she gonna pose in front of the explosion? That's just like Levi in No Regrets, except the blood isn't like steaming off this time. Okay, so they have the boat going. Oh, Falco's gone on a rampage a bit. Magath's gotta get him out of there, yeah. Like the first few transformations, they're always a bit of a struggle, aren't they? Keeping control. Did Magath not come aboard? Oh, Keith coming in. Is he gonna join our crew? So is Oh, it was Keith Shadis who stopped them. Stop the train. Oh, so he has to stay behind to stop them catching up to the guys. This is great. Keith and Magath teaming up. These two like veterans. Is this a suicide mission for them? Oh, he was the one who was onlooking. But, you know, he did make a lot of mistakes, but he did help here in this final battle. And that's all he wants really, is the kids to live a normal life. Wow. What a moment for both of them, you know? So is Annie not going to meet up with her dad now? There's still more people she can save though. Yeah, just reduce the amount of casualties as much as possible. We finally gonna get an answer? I don't know why they left this as an end credit scene. This could have just been a scene in the actual episode. Okay, that was episode 27 of season 4. Finally getting to see Falco's new form, and he does look a lot like a bird. He looks like a falcon. And you know, in season 4, episode 1, when he was first introduced, he had that vision of him saying he was like flying about. So I'm wondering if this form can actually fly, but I didn't see any wings on this form, so maybe not. He could have just been talking about using ODM gear, but we haven't really seen him use any ODM gear either, have we? I don't know if he'd be able to, because they had to do a lot of training to be able to use the ODM gear properly. I don't know if he'd be able to pick it up, or if he would even fitting it considering how young he is. I have to say, the animation this episode, there were some real ups, but there were also some real downs. Like, there was these great moments of Sakuga with Flock when he was escaping. He was like weaving in and out. It reminded me a lot of season 3, episode 1 with Levi. So there were some great moments, especially with Mikasa as well. But then there were also some moments where it wasn't that great. There's this moment where I saw a bit of rope like clipping through Eek's like character model, and there was a moment where some characters were running and it looked really off, like really low quality, I guess. But I guess you have to make sacrifices in some places to put the budget into other places, you know. But those moments were really, really great, like the top moments. It reminded me a lot of like the Jujutsu Kaisen type of animation that we know Mappa can do it. It's just the time constraints and the budget constraints for this show, isn't it? It does make you kind of sad thinking, if they had all of this time, if they had loads and loads of time and they could just perfect every single episode, the animation just being amazing, like Jujutsu Kaisen quality animation on every episode. I was just wondering what it would be like if it was like that. That would be stunning, wouldn't it? But that's not to say I don't enjoy what we've got here, because what we got here was still really good, and the characters and all of the story still carries the show, you know. The animation here isn't bad. It's just not like top tier like we know Mappa can do. It feels like these episodes are getting like more and more violent as they go along. You know, Attack on Titan has always been violent, but this episode, with all of the blood with Mikasa when she was fighting the Jaegerists, she was just like straight up decapitating them, no censorship there at all, and all the explosions and stuff. And then everything with Annie and Reiner, they got real beat up this episode. Annie decapitated Reiner. They've just like both lost loads of limbs and things. So I am glad, like, with the rise in popularity of the show, they didn't feel the need to like censor anything or tone anything down to like appeal to a broader audience. I think they already have their audience locked in here, so they don't really need to do that, do they? Then we had this great moment with Keith Shadis and Theo Magath, these two veterans who they were kind of both facing the sins of their past a bit. Magath reconciling with all of this harm that he has caused, because he is the one who led the kind of warrior program that caused a lot of this to happen. And then Keith, of course, trained some of these Jaegerists, but he did say, you know, he was proud of our squad, the squad that's working for good. So he was proud that he did instill some goodness into some of the people he trained as well, you know. So with Keith, it's kind of like 50-50. He's trained all of these Jaegerists, but he's also trained a ton of other people who are working towards good as well. But, you know, that's not to say the Jaegerists don't believe what they're doing is bad. You know, they believe they are working for the greater good, and so do our group. So we saw Flock get hit by Gabby and then fall into the water, but that isn't like a confirmed death. If someone falls off of a high place, I'm always a bit skeptical, especially if they're falling into water. Like, realistically, from like where he fell, it probably would have killed him on impact. But, you know, with TV shows, it's never like super realistic. And I am wondering, could he recover from that? But like, even if he does recover from that, in what capacity will he be in the show anymore? Because we have one episode left and then the movie. I can't really see him making an appearance in either of those, except maybe right at the end when everything's sorted out, it kind of cuts to him. Maybe there's a cut forward to see everyone's happy lives or everyone's miserable lives, depending on which way it goes. And maybe we see him that he did survive, because Flock does have a tendency to just survive this type of thing, doesn't he? He was the one person who survived the bombardment from Zeke, wasn't he? Well, him and Erwin a little bit. Erwin was just like clinging on for life at that point, wasn't he? But Flock was like completely unscathed. But, you know, I feel like maybe the ODM gear will weigh him down and he will just drown. I don't know. It could go either way. But I feel like we could see him again, but if we don't, just assume he's dead, you know. I am just really loving everything we're getting with Connie here as well. Him helping out, he's the one who like protected Reiner and Annie for a little bit there as well. He's just had some really great moments these last few episodes. So next episode is going to be the final one before the movie. So I have this feeling they're going to be going to this place where they can get the plane serviced, you know. So I'm wondering what happens there. Is this just going to be a bit of a calm before the storm type of episode and leave it off on a cliffhanger right before the action like really gets into it? Probably. But I do have this feeling that Flying Boat, you know, I was thinking it's probably not going to go exactly as planned, and it already isn't, because they can't service the plane. They need to go all the way off to wherever they're going to get it ready. But there's still like a lot of potential roadblocks along the way, right? And perhaps it doesn't go right at all and we do fly there on the back of Falco, you know. Maybe his vision was right and he can actually fly, and that's how we get there on the back of Falco. That would be really cool. Now, and we saw with Falco, he went on a bit of a rampage attacking Peak. It wasn't likely that Peak was going to die there, but there was a part of me worried for a second, because, you know, anything can happen at this point. You know, there could be an ambush by the time they get to where they're going. There's loads of things that can happen at any point. Anyone we know can be killed off essentially now. I don't think next episode will get any big deaths. I feel like they'd save all of that for the movie. You know, I don't think we'd lose like a Rhino, a Mikasa, a Jean, or an Armin at this point, but there is always the risk with Attack on Titan. There's just always this overlooming threat, isn't there? But yeah, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching. Bye.